Get ready for the smackdown. Get ready for the smackdown. How you gonna react when you're put in the back now? Cause there's no turning back when you're facing the smackdown.
Okay guys, welcome back to my Section 9 Fantasy Fights. Pretty much wrapping up very soon, and it's going along very well in my opinion. So this time I bring another first, but another character that is about to retire from my Fantasy Fights. So I put the likes of Mr. Sebastian Shaw versus the Dark Knight himself, Batman. Yes. Yes indeed. Sebastian Shaw versus Batman. I thought about this fight and I thought this would be interesting, so to speak. And for another reason, I haven't used Sebastian Shaw in a fight, and I always did like the character. So let's kick it off with Sebastian Shaw, shall we? Sebastian Shaw is predominantly an X-Men villain. When you think of X-Men villains, you think of people like Apocalypse and Mr. Sinister and Magneto and people like that. But I think a lot of people forget Sebastian Shaw for some strange reason. He was the former Black Knight of the Hellfire Club. He's no longer that. But when I first saw him, I was like, who is this guy? I mean, he looks like somebody from the 18th century, 1700s. He dresses really funny and weird, and then I get to see who this guy is. I'm like, wow, this guy is calculative. He's very manipulative. He's intelligent. I guess you could say regal. He's all the things that you would think of in a smug, aristocratic dick. Let's put it like that. And then it was always a question of, okay, what can this guy do? What is his power? So when I saw this guy, I'm like, okay, I saw this guy take a direct shot from Cyclops' optic blast that almost had full strength, and I'm like, this dude is still standing. What the hell is this guy made out of? And then he started to explain his mutant powers. And that was really the question of, okay, all right, well, what are you? What are you? And he explained it that he can absorb all forms of kinetic energy directed towards him. So any kind of energy, like physical attacks, everything like that, enhances his strength, his speed, and stamina. So yeah, and physical attacks that he abstains in fighting, like even being stabbed or cut, pretty much allows him to enhance his abilities. And I've seen him even absorb electrical attacks and things like that, and he stored it and build up energy for his physical strength. And I was like, okay, so is this guy invulnerable, or is it just he just gets stronger? And it realized that no, he can take damage, and he's not invulnerable, but he can take damage. I mean, let's say if Wolverine sliced off his head, he's not gonna become stronger or anything like that. But just the fact that, just a mere punch to him is like, okay, you just made me stronger, you dick. Like, you dick. What are you gonna do now? Like, that just really overwhelmed me. And I'm like, okay, can he be overloaded? And later on, we kind of saw that, yeah, he can get overloaded, and that was also, but it's still a matter of, like, he's not going to let you do that, but he's still a cool character. So yeah, we move on from Sebastian Shaw to the DC Universe, and, everybody should know this guy. Batman, the Dark Knight, Mr. Bruce Wayne, of course. Everybody should know this is one of DC's golden boys right here. Yeah, and I put the emphasis on that because it's true. Is Batman. He lost his family when he was young. He pretty much decided to keep the city of Gotham safe from those who prey on the innocent in a form that put fear in the hearts of the criminals. And hence, there you are, Batman. He has trained himself mind and body in terms of all types of criminology, trying to know the criminal mind very well. Excuse me. As well as physical. He's trained his body to physical human compete. He's also learned several styles, many forms of martial arts. I don't say every form of martial art because why? Because that's pretty much impossible, in my opinion, to learn every style of martial arts and master them. No, that's not possible. That's not possible to me. But he is a good character. But it's the fact that the matter is he is highly one of those characters that, is like, oh, Batman wins everything. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta call it like I see it. But besides that, he has an array of weaponry that he uses to his disposal. But he never he lives with a code of never killing and never picking up a gun. Okay, and I can respect that. I respect that about him. That he doesn't use guns because of what happened to his parents. So I can understand that a lot about Bruce. And he's a member of the Justice League and a founding member of the Justice League, and he's got a variety of allies to his back. So in terms of the battle, let's say that a newly formed Hellfire Club occupies Gotham, okay, and wants to bring its criminal organization to Gotham. So right off the bat, they're going to have to deal with the Dark Knight himself. So let's say Bruce figures out, let's kill the snake. Let's go right for the head of the Hellfire Club, Sebastian Shaw. Now he doesn't know anything about Sebastian Shaw, so I'm making this fight as like they've never met. So Bruce is unknowing of what he's dealing with. So let's say we get there. It's a battle. It's a hand-to-hand combat battle. And all the attacks Bruce gives Shaw is just making him stronger, faster. So Bruce has got to think on his toes in this. And he has to, bottom line, he has to really dig up all the fights he's had with characters like Bane, in a way. Somebody who's been stronger than, well, pretty much almost all his villains, Rogues Gallery, have been stronger than Bruce. But he's really have to use his headedness. And Shaw has to use his head because he can't get overzealous in this. Because sometimes Shaw's got a big ego. He does have a huge ego. And when he sees that he's dealing with just a man in a way, yeah, he's going to like, oh, yeah, okay, I got this in the bag. So he's got to really think on his toe. But it does come down to skill level and things like that. But over time, I'm going to give this I'm giving it to Shaw on this. But I'm leaving up to you guys. Sebastian Shaw, as you see right here, or Batman. And I hope you guys enjoyed this fight. I hope it's been a pleasure to use Sebastian Shaw for the first time. And as you guys know, yes, Batman is one of the characters that is about to be retired from my fantasy fights. Meaning I am not using him anymore. So if anybody gives me requests with Batman, I will not be taking. You will never see Batman. Malcolm, do it, please.
Basically, what my brother is saying is you will never hear or see Batman in his fights again.
Yes. I tried to whittle it down, maybe just maybe just Bruce Wayne Batman, but you know what? I decided just the character of Batman, period. He is coming up about almost 15 fights I've done with him and that's not even including the fights that are still requested. So, and I'm pretty much done with him. And it's been a great run with Bruce, but unfortunately, you guys have used him a lot, and I've only used him about 4 times in my fights. So the rest of the other fights have come from you as request. So unfortunately, yes, you will never see Batman again in my fantasy fights. It's been a great run, Bruce, but it's coming down to that line. He will be done shortly. I believe the next section or so, section 11, that will be his last appearance in my fantasy fights, I believe. Or it could be 12. It could be 13. I don't know. But yeah, I'm no longer taking any more requests from Batman for Batman. That's the bottom line. But other than that, this is M.V.K. Hope you enjoyed it. As you know the slogan, battle on.